Growing up, WarioWare Twisted was one of my favorite games to play. For those who don't know, WarioWare is a series of microgames that you can play to advance to the next level. I had a ton of favorites, but one that I kept coming back to was the Souvenir Air Hockey game. WarioWare Twisted had a unique gameplay mechanic where you would have to twist, like physically twist your Game Boy left and right in order to control whatever you're doing in your micro game. So for air hockey, you would have to twist the Game Boy in order to move your mallet left or right. The game itself physically had a gyroscope built into it, which caused it to be a little more bulky than most Game Boy games. So twisting it too crazily, you might end up hitting the game, and then your game would crash. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. So then I started thinking, what would happen if I took one of these micro games and turned it into a full-blown game? Would it be any fun? Would I still love it as much as I did as a kid? That's what we're here to find out today. Well, maybe not today, because it's probably going to take me a little while. I actually don't have that much game dev experience. I've only been learning game dev for about a year, so I wanted to recreate one of the micro games to test my skills. In WarioWare Air Hockey, there are 4 different modes in which you can battle against Spitz, Anna, or Wario himself. Each mode has a different mechanic, which makes every table unique to play. For example, Spitz, he has his buddy Dribble show up and makes his mallet really big, so it's harder to score on him. Anna has moles pop up in the middle of the table, as well as a special move where she'll create like 5 different pucks to confuse you. And then the 2 Wario Hockeys, you have Unfair Hockey, where the sides of the table have lightning, so if you run into them, they shock you and you can't move. There's also Eternal Hockey, where you just keep hitting the puck back and forth for as long as possible. Wario never like loses the puck into his goal, so it's just like a forever thing. So with all that in mind, I had a ton of fun mechanics that I was thinking about adding to my own game, but first we need to make a prototype in order to see if the game is even fun without the twisting mechanic involved. So the first thing we did was dive into Godot. Actually, the first thing we did was dive into Sprite, and I drew up this beautiful art to use as our placeholder art for the duration of the prototype. I made a table, the puck, it's just a circle, and some mallets. So after importing the art into Godot, I went ahead and I added the boundaries for the table and then added the goal areas. Then it was time to make the mallets. Before we go into details, I needed to decide what I wanted the mallets to do. Going back to the fun mechanics that we were talking about earlier, I wanted to add a handful of fun characters, all with unique backstories and quirky personalities. I wanted it to be fun to play, and for each character to be different and unique, and each of them would have a different special ability that the player can use as well. So I wanted around 8 characters plus a final boss. Each character should be able to move and dash into the puck, and they all have a unique special, as I've just said. The mallet script is going to handle that stuff, and then the player and enemy AI movement will be handled by separate scripts, but they will essentially extend from the mallet script. I knew for sure that I wanted the movement to be handled with the mouse, because I felt like it would give the same feeling as it would playing on an air hockey table. You'd be moving your mouse around, and the hitting of the puck would be based on how fast you were moving. So in WarioWare Twisted, you could only move left and right, so I felt like being able to move all around the board would also be a fun upgrade. The player controls should have been really simple to set up, but I did not know how I wanted the cursor to be. There's 2 different modes that I was trying for. One was a captured mode, where you would click on the window, your cursor would disappear, and the player mallet would follow the relative motion of your mouse. However, So I switched to regular mode where you could see the cursor, and I had to go in and refactor my entire code, but then I got an idea and wanted to try it in captured mode, so I went and switched my code again, and then it didn't work. So now we're back to non-captured movement, and I had to reformulate all my code again. So that was annoying, but once I got that working, it was time to make the enemy AI. So I didn't have much experience with coding like NPCs or enemies in games. I had a little bit, but those relied mainly on, chase the player. Once you get close enough, attack the player. I didn't know how to do all these different behaviors based on where on the table the puck was. So another problem I was having was that I wanted each character to feel unique in how they acted and reacted to the player. Okay, I had to determine where I could include interchangeable values that could affect how your opponent would handle whatever situation they were in. And then, after thinking for a while, I remembered something that I had learned during a tutorial. Resources. So I quickly made a resource called character data. If you play D&D, you can think of this sheet as basically your character data sheet. It contains values such as speed, strength, size, your dash speed and distance, and then your special ability. So with this, I coded the enemy script. But
Ricky, when I catch you, 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 Ricky.
He's kinda dumb. It's his first time playing air hockey, so he doesn't know the rules, and I didn't provide them very clearly. He keeps dashing to the player's side. It keeps dashing to the player's side, and it won't move unless the puck is on its side. It doesn't care if the puck goes into its goal. It just wants to hit it, no matter what. And it loves to clip the puck out of bounds. It's just his first time, and he's a little nervous. So to teach our little guy how to play, and to not end up like some other people who might write 500 if statements, aka in order to learn how to code complex behaviors, I looked into behavior trees, which do exactly that. I used a Godot add-on called Behave. From there, I watched a few tutorials on how it worked. By using fail checks and success checks, we can see the intelligence of our enemy start to take form. And he starts learning how to play air hockey. And after brainstorming and testing a few different ideas, I came up with a few more values to add to the character data sheet to help the AI formulate its decisions better. So now they also have a value for how close the puck needs to be before they go to hit it, and how aligned the puck needs to be with the player goal in order for them to dash into it. This inhibits them, or this dissuades them from running backwards into the puck and knocking it into their own goal. And it makes it so that they don't leave their goal wide open. And if the puck is in their corner, they will, instead of running into it until it clips out of bounds, they will back up and guard their goal instead. Then, if the puck is in their line of sight and on their side, and not past their defense line, which is just an arbitrary value that I've set for each character, then they will hit the puck over to the player's side. And so after tweaking these values, I found out that I could make offensive characters and defensive characters. But offensive characters have a higher line of sight and are a little more reckless at playing. So even if they're not completely aligned with the goal, they will still try to hit it. Defensive characters will be more careful and will want the alignment to be just right in order for them to risk going out to hit the puck. Otherwise, they're just going to guard their goal the whole time. So tweaking these values gives us many different characters. You could have someone like a pro air hockey player, or a kid who only guards their goal the entire time, or a slowpoke who might leave their goal wide open, or like you're just playing a casual game with your friend. It's perfect. So that's almost all I have for now. I did start working on the special abilities, but because I wanted this video out sooner rather than later, just to get the ball rolling on my YouTube on this devlog, I'm probably not going to include them here, and you will just have to check them out in the next video, but I will leave you with a sneak peek. So far, only the player is able to use these special abilities. I have 8 different characters, which means I need 8 different special abilities, plus the boss. I want the boss to be super cool and challenging to play against. So we got 3 now, and I just showed you one of them, which I think is very cool, very fun. But yeah, that is all I have for now. If you want to follow along with the dev journey, please hit that like and subscribe, of course. And next time, we're going to be working on these specials, adding them to the AI enemy script, and we'll also be doing some character designs. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. And let me know what you think. If you have any special ability ideas, put them in the comments below. Okay, bye.